Now, if I were the townspeople, I would have bought all 12 books right away because I have a serious disease. It's called Story Pox. And I am positive that some of you have Story Pox. In fact, maybe all of you have Story Pox. And this next story, I'll be telling it in a first-person point of view of a younger self of me. Last month, my older sister got Story Pox. And my mom and dad, they want me to have Story Pox, me and my little brother, but we are not showing any of the symptoms. And I asked before, have you had Story Pox? How many have had Story Pox? Yeah, I knew you had Story Pox. Well, those who don't, let me tell you what to expect. Well, first let me start at chicken pox, because that's what I got in kindergarten. I was out for a week with those red itchy things all over my body. But then my dad, he took the television set from the living room and he placed it in my bedroom. And then breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I was served in bed. It was wonderful. Who cared about the itchiness? It was awesome. But when my older sister got Story Pox, you know what my parents did? They didn't put the television set in her bedroom. They put boxes and boxes of books. And my sister, instead of breaking out into red spots everywhere like in chicken pox, she broke out in paper cuts because she would flip through those books so fast. Oh, and then she could not get enough books. She would like a huge stack of books. And you know a library card, you can check out 30 books. Well, she would borrow my mom's library card so she could check out 60 books. Oh, well then one day it happened. My mom called for me. Honey, come here, let's fill out this paperwork so you can get a library card. Oh, and I looked at that clipboard. There was so much information to fill out. And I thought back to when my mom was pregnant with my little brother, and my mom was rushed into the hospital, and my dad had to fill out a clipboard full of stuff, and he was biting on the pen, and he was sweating like crazy. Well, now I was the one sweating. Besides, when I went into the library, I was done after 10 seconds. My sister, she would be in there for eternity. I wasn't sure if I was ready for that kind of commitment. But I knew in order to get a library card, I had to fill out this clipboard. So, if something were to happen, oh, Mom, my wrist! Oh, call 911, call the doctor, call Homeland Security! Well, I made so much noise. There was a library nearby with a stack of books, and I scared her. She jumped so high, and those books fell to the ground. Well, then an old man tripped on one of those books, and he fell back on someone in line to check out books. Well, that person was like a human domino, and bump, 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 bump. There was 5 people with their legs thrashing and their arms kicking, and then someone tried to get up. They grabbed for a rolling cart, but it wobbled and crashed, and then everyone was arguing, and no one knew who was in line next, and I kept looking at my shoes. And my mom glared at me. Well, honey, if your wrist is that bad, then I will fill this paperwork for you. She could do that? I didn't know she could do that. And the librarian smirked as she gave me the library card. Well, I grabbed for that library card and I closed my eyes and I waited for some kind of fever or chill or something to indicate that I had Story Pox. But nothing happened. I opened my eyes, and on the farthest bookshelf, I saw a light streaming in from the window on a leather-bound book. And there was a voice inside me that said, "Read me, read me, read me." And my arms, they lifted as if by magic. I was pulled over by some force, and I grabbed that book. Mom, Dad, did you see that? I was drawn to the book like a magnet. I must have Story Pox. My mom and dad smiled. That was cool. Well, from then on, my parents, they would fill my bedroom with boxes and boxes of books. And my parents read to me, and my older sister read to me, and sometimes I read to myself. And someday, my little brother will get Story Pox. the most contagious disease in the world. And after hearing my tale and all the other tales tonight, maybe you have story pox too.